Part of being a good team is being a competitively tough team. You can't be a competitively tough team until collectively, that means everybody, you can't be a competitively tough team until you adopt a no-excuse mentality. Okay? Until you adopt a no-excuse mentality. And injuries become a built-in excuse. Okay? They become a built-in excuse for players in terms of, hey, look, you know, don't blame me if I don't play great. I'm really giving it my best, but I'm only 80%. And they become a built-in excuse for coaches, too, who like to talk about all the guys that they have hurt, because what they're really saying to the public is, I'm really a hell of a coach. Don't blame me that the team doesn't look good. If I just had all my guys out there, you'd see that I was a hell of a coach. So coaches, if they choose to talk about injuries too, are either pleading for sympathy from the fans or make an excuse as to why their team doesn't play very well. All right? And then if you make an excuse about one thing, then you start making an excuse about how hot it was, or it was really cold, okay, or gee, we had to play the game indoors, or it was really loud out there. And once you start making excuses for your performance, okay, it never stops, because that's human nature. We all want to protect our egos. And you got to toughen those egos up, and you got to toughen that psyche up. So that's why we don't talk about them. Every week is its own week. Okay, last week we had a game against Duke. Okay, that's why we're not talking about Duke anymore. That's history. Okay, we want to cite the players of the game. Okay, honor them for what they did. Let them know they played a hell of a game. You'll see that as you look at the practice tape for improvement purposes, but that game's history. Okay, each week is its own week. We had a game last week against Duke. It's history. Right now we have a one-game season, and that game is Maryland. Okay, that's it. That's all we have. Okay, we got a one-game season. It's Maryland. When that game is over, we'll have another one-game season, and so forth into the season. Okay, we have to approach it like that regardless of whatever else is present. Whether it's September, October, November, it's 32 degrees, it's 90 degrees, it's indoors, it's outdoors, it's at 12 o'clock, it's at 6 o'clock, it's at 7:45. Like I told you the other day, the circus is coming to town or the circus isn't coming to town. Whatever the circumstances, that's all it is. That's the only way you can approach it. Okay, they're all the same. Get ready to play and get ready to meet the challenge of that particular opponent. The blueprint for how to do it has already been set, and you guys set it the last 9 months and the last 2 weeks. Okay, I want to make sure that you're very specifically aware of what that blueprint is. Okay, number one, okay, and this has occurred over 9 months, but it took the last 2 weeks to really give the evidence of it. Okay, you're providing increasing confirmation that you do have a toughness, that you will not flinch no matter what. Okay, you're providing that on an increasing basis, that you do have a toughness about you, that you will not flinch no matter what the circumstances are. Part of that is a no-excuse mentality. Okay, we've had plenty of opportunities to make excuses here, okay, about circumstances that happened in the game or during the course of the game. Nobody took it, okay, and that's part of what you are, okay, but you started practicing that back there in the snow, in the rain, in the wind, in the cold, and everything else. Okay, part of that, not flinching, and this is really an important part. Okay, part of that toughness that keeps you from flinching is positive attitude, belief, and encouragement. Okay, it's a big part of having the toughness that will provide you with the attitude that you're not going to flinch, the confidence that you won't. Because things like frustration, complaining, excuses, okay, they produce a negativity that makes it impossible to have a no-flinch mentality. It's impossible to take a punch and shake it off and fight back without flinching if you're always whining and making excuses and blaming somebody else. It's impossible. And the only way you can have that is to counter that by not getting frustrated, by being positive, by being encouraging, by being aggressive under all circumstances. And you're clearly showing that that's part of your plan. Okay, so that's significant to you. That's part of the blueprint, okay, for how to produce a lot of wins. The resiliency that you have The ability to take a punch and shake it off. The capability of never flinching, however you hear it and however you feel it, gives you a tremendous edge in the ability to bounce back from the things that happen in the game, because as we all know, and as we've gotten great examples here now in just 3 games, it's just not going to go perfect. It's not. Most players, unless they specifically are tuned into this idea, and collectively tuned into it, every guy getting it, and every guy encouraging each other, and every guy being positive, and nobody getting frustrated, and nobody making excuses, most players and most fans, okay, lack the necessary willpower to fight back because they become negative as a result of not understanding it's not going to go perfect. Out of 180 to 200 plays in the game, okay, all 800 of them aren't going to be all 200 of them aren't going to be perfect. Okay? But if you look at them on an individual basis, people get frustrated as they go along the line with one play. They let one play or one occurrence ruin their whole day. Okay? It's the whole day and the cumulative of the whole day that adds up. Okay? Now that's part of the blueprint, and that's going to be part of your edge, and that's why we started this on January the 15th. It's about toughness and dependability and resourcefulness. It's about fearlessness. It's about making daring plays. Okay? It's about really going for it. Okay? And that's part of the blueprint. Okay? And that'll give you an edge.